All right, we're live. Okay, I'm Raiden, and this is my host, Erik. And today on the podcast, we have Logan Freedman. Logan, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself and why you want to be on the podcast?
Oh, I want to be on the podcast because, I heard a lot about it. I saw, it all over my feed on Raiden _Dominicus. His Instagram has been popping off. And I've just been seeing like so many different posts. Even a moment ago, I opened my phone to my Instagram page, and the Instagram actually displayed your account with one of the parts of the podcast.
It knows I'm in your house.
It knows. And honestly, that's the frightening thing about Google.
Yeah, that's the terrifying.
And first and foremost, let's say welcome to the podcast, Logan, and we're happy to have you.
Thank you.
I guess I know you just gave like a really nice answer there, but what do you know? Have you seen any other episodes of our podcast? You're allowed to say no.
No, of course I've seen every episode and every little piece of tidbit information that's definitely come out at any point.
I don't believe you. Have you been on a podcast before?
No.
Your first podcast?
Actually, no.
Do you have any that you watch on a regular basis?
No, I don't watch podcasts really ever. I kind of know a bit about a few podcasts that some people like to listen to, so I understand the appeal. Mm-hmm. But I find it hard to even watch Twitch because I kind of am always like, what do I want to be doing with myself? And the only issue is I have that mentality, but yet then I still can go watch anime. So, I have to find a little balance between whether I'm going to watch a stream or watch an anime. But if I'm going to do either, I have to be like, between this time and this time is when I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And then
what are some of the animes that you watch?
I haven't been watching.
I was just gonna say he shamed me for not watching
Spy Family.
Apparently, according to Logan, is the best anime.
One of the best.
My brother John, who's actually visiting some family in Turkey right now, unrelated, but his favorite
friend of the podcast.
Yeah, his favorite anime is One Piece. I don't know if you've seen that one or what's the other one? Demon Slayer or something like that. But yeah, so I know a bit, but just through him.
Demon Slayer is new. There's a lot of hype around it. Yeah, I personally enjoy it. I know people who don't. I think the art style is really very like appealing for that anime. No, I'm not going to bring that up. Okay, but I think it's cool. I will shit on One Piece because, and I'm doing that to be controversial, but at the same time, I don't watch One Piece. I think it's too long. I don't want to get into it. But yet I got into Naruto and I watched all of that. But that's because that happens to be one of the greatest animes ever. Just because
I watched that. One Piece was on Netflix, so I watched it. I watched like the first what they had, not because there's so many. It's a long.
It's like 30 seasons or something crazy.
Yeah, like it's pretty crazy.
It's like over 1,000 episodes for sure.
Yeah. So I watched. There was like 40 on Netflix, and I got to like the end. I was like, wow, that's it. And then I actually researched it, and I was like, oh man, this is like.
You know what I did watch was Castlevania on Netflix, and that show was badass.
Yeah. What was your take, Logan?
I don't think I watched Castlevania.
That one was good. It's kind of like vampires.
Oh, wait,
medieval.
You know another thing. I saw one of my friends watching One Piece at 2x speed, and I was like, "You watch a good anime, you never watch it at 2x speed because it's like an artistic view. It's like something you're really taking in. And if you can watch something at 2x speed, you just want the information.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, it's not a good anime. Yeah. It's just a story you can't wait to run yourself through.
Yeah.
I just power through it as fast as you can.
Yeah, that's Logan also shamed me for. I told him that I do recaps. I watched the recaps, and Logan didn't like that. I
don't mind recaps. My issue with it is that if you're recapping a really good show, you're missing out on it. Like you can recap garbage that you don't want to know about. Like, you're like, oh, this is an interesting story, but the way that the story was animated, told, the plot points, all of it was garbage.
Yeah.
But like, you were interested where the story was going, then it's okay, watch a recap.
Yeah.
But like, I've watched like a recap of like a video and stopped like a quarter of the way through and gone, I want to watch this.
Yeah.
I can't recap the rest of it because
I've found myself doing that.
I tend to find that I'll only watch a recap if I'm trying to like refresh myself on something before like the next season comes out. For example, like with Succession, they do. Well, I guess Succession's over now, but I just watched the season 4 recap, and that was heavy.
Yeah, it kind of like ties it. Yeah, it kind of refreshes the memory. Yeah, but you don't usually spoil it for yourself. You'll actually go and you'll watch it. Usually.
Typically, I try to watch the entirety of something. If I'm going to commit to it, I won't. Yeah.
So wait, what's the point of then? Like the direction for this podcast would be a direction on like certain views on things, or we just kind of hang around, chat about life.
It's kind of whatever the guest wants to talk about.
Oh,
kind of the one-liner is, or that it's more of a two-liner. Of the theme of the podcast is interviewing cool/interesting people in Calgary and or are connected to Erik or I.
Okay, gotcha.
So we're not limited to Calgary. It can be anyone that we're kind of quasi connected with and who we think are interesting people. I think you're an interesting person, so that's why you're
I
here.
Concur.
Yeah.
Why, thank you.
Yeah.
It's also why I had no friends growing up.
Yeah. That's like sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go.
I was just gonna say there's this meme and it's like my therapist, like you're really self-reflect, or you're really it's the words are not self-reflected. You're very introspective, and then it's like me. Actually, doctor, I think that might be part of the problem. It's like you're just overthinking. Yeah.
So tell us a bit about you, Logan. What's kind of your story?
I guess my biggest points that I want to touch on that would like circle round back to where I am now is I grew up focused on getting, I guess, a degree in some way to have like a good backup plan. So whether that be a doctor or engineer, which ended up being an engineer. But when I was like in high school, I did acting and I loved it. I took acting classes and improv classes, and then I landed an agent, and then I got a few commercials, and then I had a whole falling out with my agent, which really sucks.
Oh no.
It was miscommunication. I wasn't also a stand-up citizen knowing how to deal with the complicated business practices. I was like, my mom would help me sort it all out, and I'll just, sit back and, reap the benefits.
Yeah. I just got to act.
Yeah. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
Fucking bitch. No, I'm just kidding. But I take it back. So I kind of then went to university. I stopped doing acting, and I very much enjoyed engineering, but I've always loved making content. And me and Raiden during university sometimes would actually like make a little skit or something, and then when I got out of university, I kind of didn't really feel like being an engineer, and I kind of had a point. I got a job that had nothing to do with engineering, and it wasn't even paying anywhere near the amount I wanted to be paid. But I was like, okay. I was just chilling, enjoying my life, doing whatever, and then I kind of watched Bo Burnham's Inside during COVID and whatnot, and I was like, I had a revelation. I was like, oh my God, like this is what I want to do. I want to be somewhat similar to Bo Burnham. I want to be able to make art, or like, dig into the deeper meanings behind things. The way like when you watch a Bo Burnham special, you can see how much thought went into it. You can see like the props he uses, the music, melodies he does. It's got different scores. It's like it goes from a beat that makes you feel one way to a beat that makes you feel another. He's like composed it so well. Then the words not only like sound and go with the music well, but they also take you on your own journey through like how his brain works, or how like he sees things, or how the world just happens to work. And not only does he add metaphors on top of that, he just knows how to bring you along. And I think that it's all amazing. And not only is sound design amazing, but then his camera and the shots he uses and the lights he uses. Like, there is a very in-depth amount of stuff that this man is achieving and doing.
Yeah, he's extremely talented.
He's extremely talented. And so it was definitely inspiring, and it kind of led me down to, I just straight up, I Googled the camera that he used, and I was like, it's not about this camera will make me as good as him. It's about that is the level I can get to if I were to be as good as him. I could set up these shots. So the idea that I could just, set my ceiling, I was like, I'd love to set my ceiling this high and see if I can get there. A goal. Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
So from that decision to do that, I guess, how did you pivot out of what you were doing before? And I guess, what are you doing kind of now with that? Because I know one of the things that when I saw that shift from like my perspective, I remember us kind of talk like, because I remember before we had a conversation, and it was kind of, oh, like, I want to be doing this, I want to be doing that. But then I noticed like kind of like a shift where it's like, oh, this is what I'm actually doing. And it was, from my perspective, it's been kind of cool to see, because you can see that like it's kind of like one of those things that, like, breathes life to you, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it's like, oh, like, Logan seems really interested in this, and this, it seems like it's kind of like, maybe like happy is like one word for it, but it's like, it's not necessarily happiness, because there's like challenges. Yeah, there's challenges and roadblocks that come up with that, but more kind of like this seems to be putting like wind in your sails kind of thing. Yeah. And one of the things I noticed was kind of that at the beginning of that was you, I guess, from afar, from what I saw, was you kind of starting to go to like Comic-Cons and kind of like traveling more, and then, but also doing like photography. And did you start doing that like just with friends, or how did you get into? Because if like, for people listening, like, if you look at Logan's kind of Instagram or website, he has like he does kind of, I guess it would be anime photography at Comic-Con. So like people who are dressing up in cosplay, and they're like really nice, they're like high quality, like high production photos. So they're nice. So how did you kind of get into that?
Well, so what happened is I got the camera and I started playing with it, and I made some like really like nice shots, and I was like, oh my God, even the pictures on this are so amazing. And at first I was like telling my friends, I was like, yo, you need some Tinder profile pictures? I gotcha. I can set you up with something nice.
Yeah.
And then it moved from that to, I had a anime convention to go to, Anime New York City. Last year, not this.
What was that called?
New York City, and it was like it's like a November thing or something, and it was the year prior.
Yeah.
And I kind of was like, do I bring my camera? And I asked a bunch of my friends, and the consensus was like, a few people were like, no, like, you want to keep it safe. It's an expensive camera. And then a few people were like, bring it, like, live your life, like, whatever. And I was like, okay. So I went, I started taking pictures of people, and it gave me a reason to not only talk to people, but it gave me a reason to like provide something for people that people liked, as well as I was meeting more people than ever. And so I decided, to bring it and just wing it. And
sorry, Eric, I think Eric asked what was the name of this Comic-Con?
Anime New York City.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, all good. Continue. Yeah.
I'm a quiet talker sometimes.
And so basically I had also wanted to, because I'd previously been in a relationship that had made me learn that if I want certain things, I have to go get it. And so they also were a reason to help push me towards buying the camera. And then I also had noticed, like, in their free time, they were doing volleyball. They were doing, events that they like to do. They were going out of their way to sign up for things. And it made me realize I need to sign up for sports. I need to sign up for activities that I like. I need to sign up for courses.
Yeah, mom's not going to do it anymore.
Yeah, like if I want to keep, making my life interesting, I have to be signing myself up for things. And signing yourself up for things requires money.
Yeah.
And, I was working a job, so I was able to put money towards it. And living at home allowed me to spend a good amount of money on all this stuff, because let me tell you, like, rent is insane.
Yeah.
And if you're not spending money on rent, you're either saving that for future you, who I don't know, but let me tell you, future me is, not me right now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm throwing that rent money into these Comic Cons, into these conventions, into my camera, and whatnot, and reaping the benefits that I, get
it's like
from
an investment
being home.
in yourself.
I'm investing in myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I decided to go to these cons, and I made a bunch of friends, and I got invited out by, like, some girls to, like, a jazz club, and they invited us to, like, their summer home. And, like, I was like, man, I met so many people. I also wanted to get part of the cosplay community. I was like, I want to be part of it. I want to be known in it. I want to feel like I'm part of that crew.
Yeah.
And that was my goal. And so I started doing all this photography, and I started meeting people, and I started meeting bigger content creators, and I started making friends with these people. And it allowed me to complete my goal of, like, hey, now I can call these people my friends.
Yeah.
And I was like, I set out to do this, and here I am, like a few months later, or a year later, like, feeling like I'm pretty good friends with a lot of these people.
Yeah.
And so it was a really fun goal for me to shoot for. And and so I also was like, I learned that, people, obviously I didn't learn it, but I was like, I know these people want really great shots, and I wanted to provide really great shots. So I, like, studied it, and I'd have so many days on, like, YouTube looking up how to edit in Photoshop, and how to edit, like, videos and make things cool, and kind of also how to market yourself. And I was looking into everything. Like, I researched TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Like, I wanted to know it all, YouTube. And so I spent much of my time.
I remember like leaving some of those conversations where I'd be like, I'd learn more about the algorithm, because I talked to, I remember you do, like, deep dives. And then I remember, well, just now, while we were kind of hanging out before this video, Logan was telling me kind of like how kind of Instagram works a little bit. And then, but I remember, like, a couple years ago, you were telling me about how the TikTok algorithm works. And just recently, Erik and I kind of, like, we made a TikTok account for our podcast. And I remember, like, years ago, you were saying, like, oh, like, it works by your first post is important because it shows, like, the most amount of audiences, and then it kind of, like, selects your niche. And then that came up in a conversation with another person, like, more recently, and I was like, oh shit, like, I already knew that.
Yeah.
It was like the first 5 posts or something is, like, really directs your account into a direction to see, like, what the account score is going to be like.
Yeah.
And then you skyrocket from there, or you just kind of are mediocre.
Yeah.
And then if you want to do better, you have to then post a lot of content, a lot of good content, to then kind of slowly build your algorithm back up.
Yeah.
Also, posting a lot just shows, normally, as long as it's somewhat good and there's people liking it or watching through it, it can slowly build yourself back up. But those certain, like, accounts that, like, just blew up and did really well right off the beginning, they just stayed up there normally. Cool.
That's pretty interesting. So what would you say, Logan, like, where I don't know how to say this, in terms of what you want to do, like, with, let's say in the next 5 years, so, like, where do you see yourself?
Well, okay, so what I find the most tough to figure out for myself right now is there are so many different paths I can take. I could literally go back, get an engineering job. I could go try to find an agent and get back into acting. I can start marketing for my mom. My mom needs a marketing person for their company, and their company is very interesting. I can definitely get into that in a bit. I can, my friend's setting up a retail photography business and a real estate photography business, and he said he could hire me. And I want to make my own content for fun. And then on top of all of these options, I was like, oh, I could work as a server somewhere and enjoy making some money on the side while doing all of these content creation things. Mm-hmm. And then lastly, I shot a wedding for photography too.
Oh,
so
no way.
Once. And I'm like, I could also submit my website that I recently created, loganfreedman.ca.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I could plug that shit.
Yeah.
I could
link in the bio.
Yeah. I could submit that to wedding photographers and be like, hey, I can be a second shooter. And for a day's work, it might be a long day, but you can make like $800.
Yeah.
And so I could just work a few days here and there, make a good amount of money, and then have the free time to do my content creation, my other stuff. So it's really me trying to sort that out. And then a big thing that I do a lot of the time is I have tons of notebooks, and I have 6 more over there and another planner here, and I'm trying to now set it up so that I have my planner for what I do every day, and then each book is supposed to be a subject, like how you had in school, where you're this is physics, this is chemistry, this is my mom's marketing business, this is video ideas, this is
acting or photography.
This photography. And then I was thinking, okay, but then how do I do things that are ever changing? Let's say you're making a list on a page and you want to keep adding to it, but you also want to use the next page for another list. Well, then they're conflicting with each other because you have to make sure to keep one list a certain set amount, and that's restricting. So you either use something on OneNote or something, but that is restricting in itself because I like things on page. I like things on pieces of paper. I like to write it. I like to see it. I like to physically hold it. So I was thinking I need to maybe I'll make it myself, a bookshelf, put it here, over on the side.
Yeah. For those who can't see, this is just, there's another desk area here.
Yeah. And I'm thinking I then make folders and I take pieces of paper and I could how you used to have those things where you plug into the holes of pieces of paper and you could kind of flip through the folders. Yeah. So I can make folders of lists, lists of books I want to read, lists of places I want to go. And then I can dive through these folders to find all these different type of lists. And that way it's I am taking everything out of my brain and putting it around the room in an organized way so that I can, when I move to certain tasks, clear everything else out of my mind and then just focus down on that one task. And I feel that will increase my efficiency. Yeah. Just exponentially. Yeah. That's just how my brain works. I need to really organize it. So that's what I'm working on right now, organizing myself. So I'm really into the future.
Yeah. Fair enough. I think lots of people are in that position in their life right now where it's okay, I kind of I have lots of opportunity to do different stuff. It's just all right, so what do I actually want to be doing? I can do it,
but it's put in the systems to be able to accomplish what you want to do.
Yeah, but I also have to take into consideration that I'm lucky to be able to do this amount of searching of what I want to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I've after working a while made a little of an egg, as well as had my mom to house me.
Yeah.
All right. Fair. So definitely lucky to it.
Yeah. So in terms of okay, so that's a couple things that you wanted, like kind of like thinking. You got kind of like are like working towards.
Oh, where do I want to be?
Yeah, where do you want to be? Yeah, kind of looping it back. Yeah.
Looping it back. I think what I'd like to be is someone.
At this moment, you're allowed to change.
Yeah. At this moment in the future, I think I'd like to be in a place where I have confirmed and have solid proof that I know how to blow up a TikTok or a social media account, as well as I have more proof of the content I'm able to create, because I want the content I'm able to create to be something that people look at and go,
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty funny. That was like a well thought out like joke.
Yeah.
You know, I want more proof of that. And I want to be in a position where I'm kind of just stably living, stably getting by, and able to just continue like doing that. I don't need to be making a crap ton. Just enough to allow me to continue to like
pursue what you want to be
pursue what I want to be pursuing. Yeah.
So, to bring it back a bit, in terms of the acting aspect, what was that like in terms of, you know, having an agent and did you have any roles and that sort of thing?
And I just add to that kind of a question that when did you start? Like, what age did you start, and what age did you kind of start getting out of it?
It was like a year. It was only a year of acting.
Okay.
I think grade 11, grade 10/11 is when I got my agent. So I don't know what age that would be.
It's like 16.
Like 16, 17.
15, 16,
yeah. Okay. So during around then is when I got like my agent. Then I had a really solid record for commercials. So like I think I went out to 4 or 5 commercial auditions and I landed 3 of them.
Oh wow.
What commercials are you in? I didn't know this. I didn't know that you were in commercials. I knew that you were, spoiler alert for everyone, were in Degrassi.
Like, yeah, but that was background acting, which I did to make money.
But as like an extra?
I didn't know you were in commercials or anything.
No. I did what's it called? I did Oreo Cakesters commercial.
Nice.
I did a McDonald's commercial.
Nice.
And also the Oreo Cakesters commercial, I was surrounded by chickens. I was surrounded by chickens and 1 rooster. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna have to link in the bio.
I wish I could find that video.
Okay. We're gonna do some searching at the end of this, and
if anyone can find this commercial, let us know.
Yeah, please let us know in the comments.
It was a commercial that they used on like the Xbox like live dashboard
for the McDonald's one.
Yeah.
No,
for the Oreo Cakesters. Like the Oreo Cakesters was like an Xbox Live like dashboard. Like you had to be on your Xbox Live dashboard or something, and it was like an ad that popped up on one of the things. Is what they told me.
Yeah.
And the only way I know that it actually even got out, because unless I see it, I don't even know if they actually did anything with it. One of my friends contacted me and was like, "Oh my god, I just saw a commercial like of you surrounded by chickens eating Oreo Cakesters," and I was like, "Okay, so now I know it's real. I now know that like you know this was actually out there.
They used it, yeah."
And the McDonald's one was it was for a winter or Happy Father's Day. It was a Happy Father's Day, so it was not out for a long time. And it was like a panning back and forth between like this table and this table and this table and this table, and it kept changing to different people every time they panned back.
Yeah.
And and I was just like sitting there slurping my like little drink as like I looked at my grandfather.
Yeah.
And so that was that commercial. And then I did a Canadian Tire commercial. I believe it was Canadian Tire.
Yeah.
And I think my scene got cut. I think my scene got cut.
Yeah.
That might
very political.
I don't know.
Yeah. My girlfriend and I, we did a we did one extra spot in Ottawa. I think this was probably 3 or 4 summers ago now, and it was for like a made-for-TV movie kind of thing, and it was I think it's called It's like The Perfect Cheerleader or something, and it's like we watched it eventually when it came out, but it was like the premise is weird. It's like this girl who starts sleeping with this like older guy who's a lawyer, and then like he starts like giving her money, and then she wants to break up with him, and then they like, but he doesn't want her to break up with him, but then they like humiliate him in some way, and then that's the end.
Oh
yeah. It's like, oh, this
Lovely.
yeah, but not, you can see I think I got cut, but it was such an ego boost, because while there was one scene while we were shooting, and he selected me and this one other guy, and it's like, as like, you guys are going to be like the cute guys, like, because it was kind of like centered around this like group of like
you guys,
like
you guys are gonna be the guys with the nice asses.
Yeah,
okay?
exactly. And I was like, oh, nice. Movie director thinks I'm good.
Movie director thinks I have a nice ass.
Yeah.
Maybe I should call it later.
But then and so like the scene was like, this car was gonna, like, the main character's car drives by, and we follow the car and like kind of like check them out kind of thing. But we obviously didn't do it. We didn't do a good job, because the first one, and then they were just like, yeah, that was awful. And then they cut and then did it again, and he's like, yeah, man, that was worse. So that scene, and they're like, all right, moving on. So I was like, I missed my chance. I missed my chance to blow up big.
Was it did you say you had to look over?
Yeah, we had to, like, it was me and this other guy, and we were like on the sidewalk, and then their car drives past, and then we were supposed to like kind of like check them out, like, oh damn, like, yeah. But I guess I wasn't able to. I didn't have the proper training.
The best acting is literally not acting. Like, if you had just like looked over like normally, that would probably be enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've never been on TV or a movie or anything like that. But they used our house to film the movie Resurrecting the Champ with Samuel L. Jackson.
Interesting.
I haven't seen that movie. What's the scene?
Pardon?
What's the scene that in the movie? Like, what's the?
So it's the main character's house. It's his wife's house. They use our house on Prospect Avenue here in Calgary, and the movie's set in Denver. It's about this reporter who's trying to, make it big with a big story or something along the lines of that. Yeah. And he ends up finding, it's based on a true story too, but he ends up finding this homeless guy who is actually like a top-ranked boxer.
Oh,
and it's kind of his kind of redemption story. The homeless guy, he doesn't end up fighting again or anything like that, but he ends up just kind of getting his story publicized. Yeah, and it was I liked it. David was actually an extra in that movie. Okay. My little brother David for the audience there, but yeah, crazy.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, do you know The Last of Us, like the game? Or did you watch the show at all?
I haven't watched the show.
Yeah, the show, a lot of it was shot in Calgary. So that was my aunt and uncle's house. They have one of the scenes, you can see kind of like their house kind of thing, and they like shot it in front of that. And then there's lots of it's cool. It's like fun to see like the landmarks. There's like so many shows shot in Toronto though, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like,
did they filmed all the Suits in Toronto, if I'm correct.
Yeah, man, actually, okay, this is tangential to that, but like kind of annoying. So speaking of algorithms, you know how I was like, I'm a recaps guy. I enjoy my recaps. So in YouTube the other day, I was searching for a Suits recap because it kind of popped up in my stream for something. There were some scenes, and I was like, oh, I kind of forget kind of how it ended. So I was like, okay, I'd like to like have like a recap of like kind of the whole thing. But if you type that into the YouTube algorithm, only clips come up, and it's like there's nothing with the word recap comes up. It's weird.
Did you find it?
I found the one that came up. It was a guy, and it was because
that might be a viral video.
Oh,
make a recap of Suits for people.
Nice. For people like me.
For people like you.
Yep.
Okay.
I stopped watching Suits at a certain point. I don't know if either of you guys watched it, but it was
You watch it?
No.
Yeah, it was it kind of but I think they
redundant.
should have done it like
Yeah.
Succession here, where they kind of ended it at 4 seasons. But
That's the best show of all time.
yeah, have you seen that one? No, that was
And I'll die on that hill.
yeah, yeah. I liked it a lot too.
Man, wait. So just quickly coming back to that acting thing where you said you looked
Yeah.
over. Wanted to say, funny enough, my Canadian Tire scene, I got hired because they liked the way that I did a double take where they wanted a girl passing me and then me to kind of like look over and then go like, oh shit, like
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah.
Damn.
But, and I did it really well in the auditions, but in the actual take, they put on a bike. They put her on a bike. So instead of her passing right beside me, it was now like her passing really fast, and I had to like do the double take super fast.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is throwing me off. So like,
Getting whiplash doing this double take.
Because they were in a car, but they said to like because they were like, I don't know if they were like shooting the car, but when the car passed by, it was like, it's like pretend you're looking it was either in front or behind it, like that's where the car will be.
Yeah.
Like that's what we want you to look at.
Yeah.
And so, but I think what happened is like me and the other guy were like looking at totally different like areas. Like
That sounds like a mistake on their part. They should really tell you like, hey, you need to look at the back, like the trunk. They should have like an X marks the spot where you guys are supposed to look there. Like that seems like a mistake. But in my situation, it was it was shitty. It was like, God, like I felt bad when I wasn't getting it right. And I was just like, guys, I'm having to change the whole thing. I'm like, the speed at which I look. Yeah. And
I'm just thinking of the scene of did you Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Did you see that one? Where he's the scene where Leonardo DiCaprio is like, he's acting and he's like has to give his monologue and then he does it the first time around he fucks it he fucks it up
and
and
forgets the line.
You just freak out in his trailer. He's like, fuck you. He's like, you're such a fucking idiot. You're such a and then he goes back. He's like, and then he like nails it, and then everyone's like,
yeah,
I like you, like, wow, great work, and then you can like see he's like just so proud. It's like, oh man, the highs and lows of acting. Yeah.
My so Logan, what kind of acting would you want to do if you were to get back into that realm again? Like if it was completely up to you, and like a dream role type situation.
That's one I'd have to study up on because, in all honesty, I don't know. Since I've taken a lot of classes, I've done a range of acting scenes where it's kind of like, which scene would be me? Like I feel like I can do most scenes pretty well, but what scene would I want to be like finding myself doing? I'm not certain. I think I wouldn't mind a wide range. There is the option though for being like that weird guy like on like but the weird guy that makes you laugh. He says weird things, doesn't mean it to be weird, but like he's the kind of the comedy relief for like like I've seen a few like Instagram or YouTube accounts where they always have that one guy who's playing that character, and I always find that so funny. And I'm just like, oh, I would love to be that character.
To be the person that makes people laugh.
Like I think that role is so like underratedly important because it's hard because in today's day and age, not a ton of those. Like, I don't know, comedy movies, they're not as prevalent as they were in, like, say, the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Late 90s. Like, because I think back to, like, I don't know, this comedian made a joke, and he was like, remember that character who's always in the movies, like, yo, like, did you get laid tonight? And you'd be like, oh, no, man. He was like, oh, you suck. But then today, it's like, that role is turning into, like, yo, man, did you get laid tonight? Nah, man. Well, that's okay. Sometimes the conversation can be equally as fulfilling.
Yeah.
Like that's what it's turning into. It's like I don't know.
That's okay, man.
Yeah.
You'll get him next time.
Yeah.
But you took it a step forward.
Yeah.
That was fun.
More uplifting.
Sometimes a conversation is all you need.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah.
But I honestly like. I think how like super bad for me. Like Pineapple Express. Those are movies that like I want to see more movies like that and like roles like that because that role and those types of like it just feels good to laugh. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Man, Anchorman. They're coming into the back door. They're coming into the back door. Help! And he just like he's fixing his voice. He's getting ready to talk on set, like because he's an Anchorman.
Yeah.
And he's practicing his voice, and while he does that, he's like pretending that someone's coming into the back door of his house to kill him.
Yeah.
And he's a woman, and he's
Save the
screaming,
children!
Save the children! and then, or like how his dog got punted off, like something.
Yeah.
And he's in a
Yeah.
glass booth, and he's like, "I'm in a glass case of emotion." He's just.
What was your experience on Degrassi like, Logan?
Well,
Did you meet Drake?
No.
Oh damn.
I mean, I straight up was just on there because I needed money and I knew that I had like some connections. And so I got a background acting agent. It's different than your normal agent.
So like an extra type deal?
It's an extra agent basically.
No, like you
the
like, in
role.
the background. Yeah, you were like working like as a
Yeah,
background character.
a background character. Yeah.
Okay.
Like you have agents for what was it called? Premium roles. It's called Prime. I can't remember the term.
Yeah.
But basically you have roles that are for like main characters, and then you have roles for background, and they're called extras. And so you get an agent for that, and then they you give them your picture, and they send your picture off, and then people will be like, "Oh, we like this kid. Bring this kid on."
Yeah.
And so like so I was in the background a bunch of just Degrassi. There was one time we had like a prom scene, and I saw the guy who was filming with this big camera and whatnot fall, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, is the camera okay?" Like,
Well,
I think people were worried about him, but at the same time, people also were worried about the camera because
they're ridiculously expensive too.
Oh yeah, no, so expensive.
Like this is more so related to the camera thing, but when they were filming The Dark Knight in 2006 or 7 or whatever year it was, there were only like a very finite amount of IMAX cameras, and Christopher Nolan ended up like breaking one. Well, not him himself, but and they were going for like I think like $8 million. I don't know what the number was. Something absurd.
Wow.
But so
how do you end up breaking it?
I don't know. It was somehow during filming the when Batman is I can't even remember the scene. I'm gonna just guess, don't take my word for it though. When they're filming the scene where the Batman attaches the tow cables to the truck, goes under the truck and like weaves his way through the lights, and the truck like does a huge like flip.
Mm-hmm.
Something happened during that shoot, and I think pretty sure that's how the IMAX camera broke.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Jeez Louise.
Jeez Louise there, mate.
Yeah.
Crikey.
But yeah, I don't know. I think the whole acting industry, it's cool, and there's a ton of work coming up to Canada now. So whether it be commercials or TV and movie, particularly TV, because I think they just filmed in Alberta, for example. Like they just did Under the Banner of Heaven. That was maybe a year and a half ago, which was a really good show. And we actually had a family friend that was on that show. She had a role. A minor role, but she did really well. They did The Last of Us, like Raiden mentioned, and now they're doing Fargo for the 3rd season, filmed in Calgary. So, and they did the movie Prey, the Predator movie. So I think it's super cool that they're bringing all these new jobs and opportunities and just projects here because I think it's awesome and it's good for the country, and I think it gives a lot of people that love, to act or to film or to be just a part of these big features, and brings opportunities here. So I think it's cool.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I like just seeing the places that I've walked by. It's like on the screen. It's like, oh, I've been there. That's cool.
Yeah.
Can you hear Chloe in the background? That's Chloe.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's probably Chloe. Hey,
Chloe's like, how big? So my dog Violet, I have a wiener dog.
Violet. Yep.
And she's like, Chloe is like half the size of Violet, and Violet is small. She's a small wiener dog. Right.
Violet is small.
You can't yell at Lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very. Actually gonna find this tweet I was looking at earlier because I want to read you guys this statistic.
Well, I'm ready.
I'm gonna find it first.
We got a canine inbound.
Let's go.
This is Lucky. Hey, Lucky.
Hello, Lucky.
So how long has Lucky been deaf for?
He's not actually. He is. Like a
That's
year.
Hearing. Yeah.
A year or so now. It's like you can be behind him or like on the side and yell like Lucky, and he just won't react.
What kind of dog is she?
He's a terrier.
He is nice.
And is Chloe a
Yorkie as well, and but a teacup,
right? Yeah. She's crazy small.
Yeah, so he's a standard.
You're cool too. Very cute.
That's awesome. Yeah. Love dogs. They're good for the soul.
Yeah,
100%. They're great listeners, except maybe not Lucky.
No, well, yeah, you can't listen. But you pick him up and you like cuddle him in your arms, and he just accepts it. He's just like, I like doing this.
Yeah,
this is what's happening.
Cuddler.
Yeah, so he'll cuddle for a while, and then I'll want to like go upstairs and something, eat.
Yeah,
or go for a walk if we can.
Go for a poop. Yeah.
So what do you like? What? So how long have you always lived in Toronto?
Yeah, except for university. University was in Kingston.
Kingston, right?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part? What do you like to do in Toronto in the sticks?
I mean, just the other day, I brought my girlfriend down to Woodbine Beach, and then we like rented a bike. So we rented like some of the bikes that are there.
It's they have a two-seater.
No, like the bikes are. Was it like the city bikes? Yeah. Like they're like the So in Calgary we have scooters.
Yeah.
Like the Lime scooters.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about.
It's like bikes here. Yeah.
And then we went down to the beach, and then we picked up some rocks and threw them into the lake.
Nice.
Like you skip rocks. Yeah. So I was teaching her how to skip rocks.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was fun.
Yeah. I forgot. Like I was down because that's where I'm staying right now is kind of downtown Toronto, and I totally forgot that it was on the water.
Mm-hmm.
I went a block to meet like a friend, and he's like, or I called a friend. I was like, oh hey, do you want to meet up? And he's like, oh yeah, go meet up by, like just down by the water, kind of. That is the harbor front.
Harborfront.
The harbor front, and you forget that it's like it's on a lake. It's like, oh shit, I forgot that this is here because it's like especially right downtown, like
the buildings are so tall.
Yeah.
Right beside the water.
Yeah.
It was like I FaceTimed you this morning, and it was like skyscrapers everywhere.
Yeah, it was so funny. So the person who I went to, I don't know if they want me to mention him on this, so I won't. But who I met up with, we were talking, and he had grown up like kind of like I think his parents traveled for work, so he like had been to all these like huge major cities, and he's like, yeah, Toronto's like the smallest city I've ever lived in. And I was like, what? This is like a major metropolitan for like I would consider. I was like,
Yeah, like,
oh,
well,
man.
the thing
Oh, I
about
think so.
Yeah, and then it's dense.
yeah, the thing about Toronto is it's dense.
Yeah,
Because you go like just a bit to the east or a bit to the west or a bit north, you're kind of out of like downtown Toronto.
yeah.
So downtown Toronto is pretty small, but like there's a lot everywhere.
Yeah.
Like there's also some other stuff. I mean, you can do some fun stuff in Toronto, which is why I like Toronto. You can like do paintball. You can do break it rooms. Yeah, break. You know, where you
the
bring stuff and you rampage.
Oh,
I want to do one of those. So I haven't done it yet.
I've never done that. I've seen it.
I've never done one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds fun. But they have those, which I want to try sometime. Yeah, you have tons of different types of food. You can sign up for courses anywhere in the area. They have a great, acting experience because there's tons of courses for that, as well as jobs, which is not, you can't just do acting anywhere. You have to be indefinitely a place where there's a lot of auditions.
Yeah.
At least actually nowadays, you don't even have to. Nowadays, you can just, what's it called? Nowadays, you can just do it online. A lot of stuff's online these days.
Like voice acting?
No, like auditions wise.
Oh, okay.
You have to go in if you got
Hey,
it.
just how does it go? Like you film audition or like a recording and you send it in?
Yeah, it's basically a lot of sending things in these days.
Yeah. Are you a Toronto Maple Leafs fan? No.
No,
Fair.
I mean I'm not really a sports guy, but like I play sports.
Yeah.
But not really follow sports. I mean, I got into basketball because of my friends for the Raptors like winning the championships.
Yeah.
So I was part of that.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, I don't really pay attention.
No, hey, totally fair. I just know that it's so freaking crazy there. You probably hear about it enough just living there, I would imagine.
I mean, it depends how much you get out of your house and talk to people, right? So,
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
so if I'm getting out of the house talking to people, then I guess I would be experiencing it a lot. But like a certain crew of people I hang out with, I deal with social media a lot.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask something. I'm blanking.
It's okay. I can continue. We have escape rooms.
That's what I was gonna say. Yesterday, have you seen the Nerf guns that are like Orbeez that shoot Orbeez?
Yes.
Have you seen those? So yesterday I went and played ping pong in a park with another friend, and there was these kids, and they were like having a full on, like it was like they were playing.
Orbeez battle.
When you go and play paintball and it's like high intensity, like you're at war.
Yeah.
They were having that with these Orbeez guns. And then while we were playing ping pong, like we were getting like what do they call it? Like
Caught in the
crossfire. Like so they're like shooting and like you get one in the back of the neck or like the leg, and it's like,
do they hurt? Is it like airsoft?
They don't hurt. It's like they're not like, it's not as bad as like a paintball or even a BB, but it's like you still feel something. And then it's like if you're doing something, it's like, oh, like if you're not playing it, it's like I don't really want it. But it was wild. So we survived the Orbeez Wars. But they're like rapid fire. They're like a machine gun.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I was thinking of getting one.
Have you seen that video on Instagram where the guy, he's like, we're gonna ruin my brother's date tonight, and he gets like literally like 200 people. They dress up as minions, and then they get the Orbeez guns and they just start pelting them. They like chase them. You seen that little meme? Oh,
I feel like that'd be dramatic.
Yeah, sounds vicious.
Yeah.
Mia asked me if she wanted to do paintball sometime.
Oh,
and I was like, well, do you want to do like a day where there's not really a lot of people, or do you want to do a day like that we just do it us, or just a normal day where there's tons of people? She's like, I don't care. And I'm like, well, again, so if there's people there,
it's very different.
It's very different. You're gonna hear machine gun fire. You're gonna hear like, psst, and you're gonna be like, I don't want to go out. Yeah. I don't want to go out. Like every time I go, I'm like, I can't wait to get shot. Like I'm gonna get shot and like try to like rush in and shoot people, but I'll get hit a bunch and it'll be fun.
Yeah.
But then you hear that like machine gun fire and you forget. You're like, no, there's no way I'm running out there. And she was pretty adamant, like, don't be okay. But I'm thinking I'll set up like, 12 people to go sometime, and then like
less intense.
Yeah, less intense. We'll just
I've been watching a lot of like BB gun footage or airsoft footage.
Airsoft footage.
The guy in I don't know if you guys are seeing this as well. It's the guy in the ghillie suit.
Yeah, the sniper.
Yeah. So I see him all like he pops up in my feed all the time, and he's just like invisible. The guy's like from me to Logan, and he's like sometimes he shoots him, but then he's like bang, and he's like oh shit, yeah.
Well, he'll like shoot guys that are cheating, and he'll like shoot them in the face and stuff.
Yeah, and then he like just shoots them again and again and again until they
yeah. And he's like, fuck off.
Yeah.
It's like, well, raise your hand.
Yeah.
You're out.
Yeah.
I can't tell if they just don't know that they're like they're like, there's no way someone can be shooting me from here. I'm in cover.
Yeah. I'm sure it's some of that for sure. I bet it's more of that than the other one where it's like, oh yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, if you're standing beside people and you're just like, I should be in a safe spot, and then you start feeling a hit, you're just kind of like, no one's peeking.
Yeah, maybe that was a bee or something. Or,
I don't know. Like, I'm sure they're also assholes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I think like hiding in a bush, and then like just camping is like, I guess that's war. That is war.
So Logan, you mentioned that you Mia, that's your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Right? Nice. And so how so you
How sexy is she?
Well, no.
I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna say
very.
Yeah. So do you see yourself as like a kind of long term with this person, or?
Yes.
And you've been going. I obviously know this, but you said you've been going out with her for
3 months.
For 3 months.
It hasn't even been that long, but definitely a stronger relationship than most already.
Yeah.
What does she do for work?
She has kind of a tough backstory, but like she's from Brazil, and so she currently is finishing up some school for marketing. And when she finishes, she'll either go into marketing or she'll want to do like some fashion design. I know that she really likes fashion design.
Cool.
That's pretty cool.
So it'll be one of those two.
So Logan's been practicing his Portuguese.
Yeah.
So he's a amateur Portuguese.
Can we hear some?
Eu homem. I'm a man. I am man.
Yeah.
Eu homem. I don't know. And then like you could go, and she is a woman, which would be ela é uma mulher. Yeah.
So for any Portuguese speakers listening in,
please, like, that was horrible.
Please comment on how well Logan is progressing in his Portuguese.
I just started.
Well, I think to me it sounds great, but I don't speak Portuguese.
I'm on a 23-day Duolingo streak, but
good job.
20 of those days were Japanese because I was going to go to Japan.
Oh yeah.
So 20 of them were Japan. I was starting to get like pretty good, Watashi wa good desu. No, I'm just kidding.
What does that mean?
I
said and then I said good, and then I added des at the end. So it wasn't very good.
There's a lot of people I know have been going to Japan lately. It's pretty crazy.
Travel just reopened for Japan, so everyone's like,
fair.
This is the time to go.
Yeah.
Raiden, can you speak a different language?
No. I can understand a little bit of Italian, and but even then, not really that much. So mostly just English.
I can understand Norwegian, but I can't. I can speak a bit, but not much.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I guess I'm learning. I guess the language of dogs better with Violet. I've been learning her cues, so becoming more fluent in dog body language.
All doggies have a
They have a certain.
I always think if remember that episode of Rick and Morty where Morty gets the device where he can listen to animals.
Yeah. Hey, actually, that's a good question.
What squirrel
Yeah.
animal?
The squirrels is
Yeah.
The situation in Venezuela is getting out of hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little boy, come here.
Did you notice what we're saying?
Yeah.
I feel like I need to take Lucky
We got a Doolittle.
I was gonna say, Logan.
Yeah.
If Lucky could speak, how would he sound? Like, what would his voice be like?
You'd be like, give me food, give me food, give me food.
So more of a higher pitched voice.
Yeah.
I don't know if, like, because for Violet, she's from Mexico City originally, so I don't know if she would have a Spanish accent or she would have
Give me the food.
yeah, like Italian.
Italian.
Yeah.
Si, senor.
I'm gonna stab you.
Yeah. Yeah. What were you saying, Eric? Sorry.
Oh, nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know. I wish I had a dog, but
Yeah.
alas, they are a hell of a responsibility.
The upsetting part of having a dog is that I don't feel comfortable, doing my own thing for too long because they need to be taken care of. I would be a cat person because I can then be like, okay, fuck you, go do your own thing.
Yeah.
And I'll do my own thing. And if you want to come by sometime, we can hang here and there. But
Yeah. With dog, it's more like it's an active. You gotta be actively hanging with them.
The problem with cats for me is like I like cats first of all, but like imagine if cats had like the temperament of like dogs, like they'd like you still like you wouldn't really have to like take care of them as much as a dog, but they'd still be like pretty friendly.
I know a lot of cats that are extremely friendly and like dogs, where it's like if you were to leave the house for too long, the cat is coming up to you like, spend time with me, I missed you.
Yeah.
They just do their own thing at times. Like I find that cats are very similar to dogs. It's just there are a lot of cats that do their own thing, and then there's a lot of cats that are like, oh, I love this owner so much. I've definitely seen both. So
I've yet to experience that, but I take your word for it.
Yeah, a myth. It's a cat myth.
Cat myth.
Yeah. Logan, I didn't ask you this before, but this just came up to my mind. Have you done any parkour lately?
I thought you were gonna say, have I done any porn?
Oh,
I was like,
you got me.
You got me. Coming out with an app.
OnlyFans.
2024.
Yeah, it's strictly feet pics.
Strictly.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, little tease right now.
I was thinking, like, I hope my feet don't get on
Yeah, don't give them away for free.
Yeah, I was close to lifting them.
Don't let the dogs
into
out.
the camera.
There was this girl on Instagram, and she was saying she makes $200,000 a year, completely on feet stuff on like OnlyFans or something like that.
Easy. Not even questioning it. Easy.
Just
I know a
bonkers.
friend that doesn't have like too much, and they're like, yeah, I could be making $10,000 a month.
Wow.
Yeah, and they don't even have like as big of a following as some people. Yeah, there's some insane money that you can get.
Big money in feet.
She wasn't a foot.
Okay.
But I'm sure. I'm
sure
if you were to. The thing is, OnlyFans is not just like. I didn't know about this, and I'm sure a lot of people who don't use OnlyFans don't know about this, but OnlyFans isn't just like posting pictures. It's posting the pictures. It's people then commenting or sending you messages,
like an interaction,
and you then interact with them. So some people even set up marketing agencies or whatnot to be the ones who post, and they then talk to your people as if it were you.
Yeah.
And then
that's how
have to just make the content.
Yeah, that's how
But they take a huge fee.
Remember or like the Tate Andrew, is it Andrew Tate? Yeah, that's him and his brother. That's how they made their money. They were the guys talking,
really,
like pretending to be the girls. That's kind of like how I think their original kind of.
Is that why they got arrested in Romania?
Yeah. Allegedly.
I don't think that's why they got arrested. It sounded like they didn't have anything on them.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
they did get arrested though, right?
Get away with if being the person to chat.
Yeah,
you know.
we interviewed John Buckingham. This guy we went to high school with, and he works kind of in the VR space.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was one of his rules. He's like, always remember, Raiden, there are no females on the internet. And then that was his it's like that was the rule he was saying, where it's like if you think you're talking with the girl, you're probably talking with a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that true? Do you think?
No, not entirely. I think to a degree it's very likely, but you can tell if you're playing with a girl if they give away enough evidence.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's definitely some people out there pretending, but like certain girls have like their profile like really showing that they're a girl and they have
they're
like
a real person.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
but I mean, I don't really play many games that would do that, like
Yeah.
where I'd be looking for a girl on a game.
Yeah.
I just shoot, like when I play my shooters, I'm just point and click.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. What games are you playing? Any games right now?
I have not been playing any games. I hate the gaming industry of today, and the only things I can say I like is Breath of the Wild and the new one that just came out. I bought it and I have yet to play it because I know when I sit down to play it, I will be stuck playing that thing because I'm sure.
What is the new one called? Something.
Treasure of the Thing. I have literally no idea.
Raiders of the Lost.
Raiders of the Lost. The Lost Zelda.
Yeah.
But
what are you? Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, I was just gonna say that basically, like, games used to be about like people having fun and playing. Now games are very like follow these rules. You know, don't upset anyone. You know, make sure do
your daily tasks.
And it's all like very
like work,
strict to the T. It's work, and it's like I came to mess around, play with people, joke around, and take things very chill. And here you go. Like if I were to open Modern Warfare these days, I'm pretty good. But because I'm good doesn't mean I want to play a sweaty lobby all the time. I want to sometimes mess around with a sniper, do 360 no scopes. But because every game puts you into a harder lobby if you do well, it's like, oh, I have to be trying every game. Yeah. It's not like, oh, some games I might just mess around. It takes it that everyone's personality is to win. And don't get me wrong, a lot of people do have the mentality, I want to win. I could care less about winning. I want to just mess around in a game that kind of like allows me to just joke around. In Modern Warfare 2, back in Modern Warfare 2,
best game of all time.
Yeah. Best game of all time. You had so many unfair things going on. It was hard to win, but at the same time, everyone's kind of joking around because you're all like,
you play a game of Search and Destroy, and all your boys have riot shields and
it sucks.
C4.
But like
that was the best. You the game starts, and if you're on like a small map or like Rust or something, you just noob tube, and then you just shoot, and you get a multi-kill the first 3 seconds of the game.
You get a clip.
Yeah.
And then you'll see people jumping off the top of buildings trying to like 360 like YY BXR, shoot you.
Kind of more fucking around.
Yeah. There's not nearly as much of that these days.
Yeah.
I really like the riot shield C4 action in Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
I would just die laughing doing that shit with the boys. Like, it was just so funny.
Yeah. I'd like that as well too. Yeah.
In one of the recent Modern Warfares, me and my friends all hopped in, found trucks around the map, and then like grouped up in one area, and then we made friends with another 4 trucks, and then we were all hanging out until like the very last ring, and we weren't shooting anyone.
Yeah,
we were just running around trying to like group up more people to join our group.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was the first time I've had fun playing like a game in a long time.
Yeah.
I don't really play video games anymore other than Call of Duty Mobile. Shout out for the accessibility factor. You guys are the best.
Yeah.
But you know what is my favorite game of all time? Chess.
Chess?
Logan and I would play chess all the time in university. We haven't played
that.
Much.
Is
Logan
the
would beat
game
most times. Logan's a good chess player.
Not anymore.
Oh, yeah, we're out of practice.
Garbage now.
Oh, I love that game. I've been playing it since I was probably 9 years old, but it's I just in the past couple of years got really back into it, and I just love that game so much.
Do you still have your account on chess.com?
Yeah.
Nice. Yes, you guys should play it.
Man,
Yeah.
it's all an extra amount of work and time that I have
Yeah,
to put
yeah.
towards something.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's so hard to know what to put your time towards.
Yeah.
Right now,
Yeah.
I haven't been playing any games. The only games I've been playing is there's a game called Core Keeper, and it's like a 2D Minecraft. It feels like,
Yeah.
and I've been playing with that with my girlfriend in like our spare time.
Okay, actually, here's a question for both of you guys.
Shoot.
If let's say like time doesn't matter, like everyone lives forever, so you like
Yeah.
it doesn't necessarily matter like how much time you spend at something. You're not aging. No one you know is aging. Everyone is like living forever. Like, what would you like today? What would you be spending your time?
How would we allocate our time?
Yeah.
I think if you want to answer first, because I'm gonna
No,
break
you go first, Logo.
Are you sure? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to break it down into that, once you start taking away what pushes you forward, it's kind of like sitting in an empty abyss. And then you realize that time is then created because other people are moving it forward for you. If you're not jumping on the ship, let's say there's a TikTok trend. You want to hop on that trend because everyone else is doing it. But if you don't hop on that trend fast enough, then technically you miss out.
Yeah.
So just because I'm not aging anymore, I'm still missing out. So I still have to accept
the
loss of something.
Yeah.
And I'm always weighing out what I'm losing out on by time passing.
Okay. So what would you be doing?
I guess I would have to find reasoning to still go about living because time does not exist.
Yeah.
But I think I want to expand out of my shell and kind of like be just going out talking to people. Like maybe I could take my camera, go out downtown, start walking up to random people. Hey, you want your photo taken? Blah blah blah. Expanding my reach there, and kind of growing an audience to grow my page. But then I would also I would do all the things I'm doing right now, but I would have time to do it, right? Because right now I'm like, I have to stop, probably let's say photography. I have to stop, maybe acting, or stop my idea of getting an engineering job. I have to let some things go so that I can do one thing, because there's just not enough time every day to do it.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. You'd want to master some sort of craft.
Yeah.
Well, at least I would. Like, if it was up to me, I don't know what it would be. I'm not sure, but I think I want to be a master of something.
I want to be a master Jedi.
Ooh.
I want to be on the Sith Council. the Jedi Council.
The Jedi Council.
Let me tell you, it was because they did not grant Anakin rank of master that he killed basically everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fools.
Always the quiet one.
Fools.
Except he wasn't quiet.
He wasn't very quiet. No, he was.
I don't know. I think he still would have went to the dark side.
Even if he got on the council.
Yep.
Yeah. Maybe that was just like one thing, and then he would just he was kind of like the guy who, no matter what happens, like everything could always be better. He's like, oh yeah, but
he was so susceptible to influence from Darth Sidious.
Yeah.
I don't know. They slighted him a lot.
Yeah.
They
did
put him under the
for
rug.
sure.
And I think that's why that he felt so disconnected from them in comparison to the Sith Lord, the Sith mightiest man. And it also, from what I read or whatnot, it sounds like that guy also went out of his way to kind of take damage from the people, the Mace Windu and whatnot. He decided to take damage so that he could
Palpatine.
Palpatine to force Anakin's hand into
to
coming
decide
to,
quickly.
Yeah.
It's tricky because Mace Windu also the reason why he was able to beat Palpatine is because his fighting style is directly for fighting Sith.
Yeah.
And he's able to use some of that dark force, the dark side of the force against Palpatine. But I think
But
Think about Anakin. So, sorry, go ahead.
I also heard that Palpatine is just like insanely powerful.
Oh yeah.
Like he doesn't like can't even kill him technically in the books and whatnot.
He's like Voldemort.
He's kind of like you kill him, he knows how to move his soul to another body.
It's treason then.
Yeah.
But yeah, love me some Star Wars.
Yeah. Do you, when you go to the cosplay or the Comic-Cons, are there lots of people dressed in Star Wars, or
No, not really.
Or it's mostly anime?
It's mostly anime, you know, Genshin Impact stuff. Maybe sometimes some old animes. But in all honesty, there's so many people. There's thousands and thousands of people, and if I just don't know something, it's so easy for me to not know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
what's your guys' favorite like IP?
IP?
Yeah, like say
No,
Star
it's-
Wars, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, like your
Harry
favorite
Potter.
anime, your favorite.
I can say mine is the Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon universe.
Yeah.
I really
It's
love Batman.
That's my favorite superhero too.
Yeah.
So highly agree with that.
Like the written Batman,
Mm.
not like the Batman that like they put him as like the smartest being basically. And, like he
Yeah.
had like an all-knowing chair once, and he like was like pondering something, and then he went to sit in it, and he's like, "Nah, I figured it out."
So that Batman,
Like the best superhero movie of all time, The Dark Knight.
I like that one.
It's good.
One of the best trilogies of all time too. The Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah. Batman's dope.
Yeah. I don't know what my favorite IP is. It changes. I think you guys should both watch Akira. I was telling Logan about that.
Yeah.
I think you should watch
What's
it.
it called?
Akira, Akira.
Why have I heard of that?
It's like
What is it on Netflix?
I don't know if it's on Netflix. I don't know where
What
it
is it?
It's here. Logan's pulling up the.
The old IMDb.
It's like an anime from the 80s. It's a movie.
Is this
and it's referenced broadly across like so many like cultural media, like pop culture media.
I feel like I saw a meme about this recently where the guy goes,
yeah, and that's from
Akira.
Yeah,
yeah. Why is everyone watching Akira lately?
I don't know. But
Have you guys seen any of the Studio Ghibli movies?
Yeah, I was telling Logan that because like Nina doesn't like watching like anime too much. So I was like, because I was like, because Spirited Away. That's like
that's like a good. That's like a very like wholesome movie.
Yeah, that's like my favorite Studio Ghibli movie, and
me too.
I tried watching it with Nina, and she just like fell asleep in the like first 10 minutes. So,
well, it's pretty soothing to listen to and just to watch.
Yeah.
Like in terms of the environment and stuff, but anyway.
Yeah, it's like super beautiful. It's like super cinematic. Like
it's very like natural too.
Yeah, Princess Mononoke is really good, and
Princess Mononoke.
Yeah, and then like My Neighbor Totoro is good. Yep. They're all good. They're all really good.
They're all quite good. Princess Mononoke is probably my favorite.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab something. I want to show you.
Oh, nice. Beauty,
bro.
I bought. Do you know the Bond Touch things?
No.
You ever heard them?
No.
It's basically like a little. So it was because I was supposed to go to Japan, so I was leaving my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And it was her birthday, and I made her a video for her birthday because I was away for it. But I also got her this Bond Touch bracelet, and you put it
Bond like James Bond.
No. And you can tap it twice to wake it up, but I'm pretty sure it has to be connected to my phone, which it's not right now.
Yeah.
But basically, it then lights up the color that you put for them.
Yeah.
And then you can like tap it again, and then it's like, okay, now send a message. And then you could like slide it across or like tap it on certain areas and do whatever you want. and it
So you
kind
can
of
like say
then
like I love
it's-
you or something.
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
and it sends a vibration in the same way, as well as it shows the display of like how you touched it.
Yeah.
And then it kind of, you could technically be like, oh, okay, every time I send you like a tap on either side here, that means, I love you, or like whatever. Yeah, I think it's super cute.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
Where'd you get
awesome.
stuff like
I just
Amazon, or-
got it online. It's called Bond Touch.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. And you've
I like
used it?
that.
sometimes?
Yeah. I used it a bunch. But right now, oh right, I have to. You have to have the app open. What?
Yeah. I was just thinking. I'm kind of mindful of time here. So, but before so we'll probably maybe wrap up in the next like 10, 20 minutes here.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to ask, and Eric, I think you'll find this interesting as well too, is the marketing that you're doing for your mom's clinic and kind of what she does. I wanted to touch on that before we wrap up, and that's a good leeway because it has to do with kind of relationships and your health. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what your maybe one, what kind of she does at her clinic, and then two, what your
You want more orgasms? Come to Vitality MD.
That's basically my marketing. Yeah, she's a doctor. She kind of was a general doctor and then kind of moved her way through different type of doctoring. I don't know too much.
Sure.
But I think like naturopathy and other stuff she kind of moved through. And then she was going to tons of conferences, learning about tons of things. And like 3 years ago or something, she built her own business. And then that kind of led down the route of making things like the O shot, or not, she didn't make them, but like started like doing B shots and like whatnot. And one of them is called the O shot and the P shot. And she's one of the main people, I guess, doing that in Toronto or in like the doctors recently. And so the O shot and P shot kind of just makes your it generally makes just your orgasms better, but it also like for women like stops leakage, especially if you've had pregnancies or something. Yeah, it's kind of interesting, but like since I'm gonna have to market that, it's kind of funny that it's like the P shot and O shot. It's like her just making women and men's like orgasms better, and it's like, ooh, yeah, I could probably market that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So where can we look for your future
My future advertising.
Yeah, your future
currently the advertising is like needing some work. I haven't done enough yet.
Okay.
But it would be on Vitality MD.
Yeah.
Yeah, like their Instagram and probably their TikTok and whatnot.
Okay.
Nice.
Well,
And your personal website?
I think it's just vitalitymd.ca or .com.
Yeah. No, I think he was asking about your personal
My personal website.
LoganFreedman.ca, right?
LoganFreedman.ca. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
See cosplay photography, wedding photography, and
Yeah, we'll plug the link in the description.
Yeah. And if you're in the Toronto area and looking to get have a better orgasm.
Yeah. If you're looking to improve your orgasms for life or whatever.
Yeah.
If you want a better life or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
If you want like your relationship with your husband or whatever you're with. Yeah. And you want it to be better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
It's not cheap. It's not cheap, but it works.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
Nice. All right. Well, I think we've been at it for maybe just under 2 hours, and I think maybe that's a good place to wrap it up.
I think so.
Yeah. So Logan, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for coming on.
It's not too messy.
Yeah, I hope it's not too messy out here. But
no, I mean just coming on the podcast. But sorry, that's a
yeah. Oh,
yeah. Okay, sorry.
All righty. Okay.
All right,
Eric,
signing off here.
All right. Okay. Good chatting. And okay, I'm gonna stop recording now. So bye everyone at home.
Yeah.